how the narcissist uses false apologies and how to spot them. The narcissist has no sense of accountability, a sense of entitlement, the right to do as we please with who we choose and howsoever we wish to do it. As a consequence, the necessity of an apology is something which is not intrinsic to us. There is no emotional empathy that compels the provision of an apology to somebody. In many instances, of course, the cognitive empathy or false empathy that a narcissist may have means that an apology will be provided. This is a false apology. Any apology given is not born out of any genuine sense of remorse, because we have none. An apology is not provided out of a sense of offending conscience, because we have none. It is done as an expedient step for the purposes of gaining fuel, exerting control, maintaining superiority, for the purposes of establishing control over our environment. The apology is used as a means to make it appear as if we are contrite. Many narcissists never issue them. Those that do so for the purposes of further manipulation. There is a need that is recognized to say the words. It might be part, for example, of a preventative hoover to stop somebody leaving the narcissist in a romantic relationship. It might be for the purposes of preventing disciplinary action at work. It might be to get a friend to do something for us by appearing to be contrite about some behaviour. There are 7 standard phrases that narcissists use when the false apology is provided, and I shall describe each of those 7 phrases, and then, with each one, explain what the narcissist is really meaning when you hear those words. Accordingly, should you hear any of these phrases, you should realise that if they are being uttered by somebody that you have identified as a narcissist, then these comments are just the manifestation of a false apology. They are false contrition. And you will now be able to understand what is being said and what is meant by them, and that they are not genuine apologies. Number 1, I'm sorry I went away. What the narcissist really means is that you probably said something that he did not like. You might not have said anything at all, but you did something which criticised the narcissist, and he wanted to punish you, so he disappeared. The narcissist isn't going to tell you what he was doing whilst he was gone, but he actually only thought about you when he looked at your pleading text and missed calls, because of the fuel that was garnered from it. The rest of the time, he actually spent it with your predecessor, or a potential new prospect, who the narcissist wanted to be with, well, because you were painted black and she was painted white. And therefore, the person that we were engaging with may well have spoilt matters, and they became black, and thus you became painted white, and then that is why we have come back to you, pretending to be sorry. We need your fuel again. We need to exert control over you. So, the narcissist returns, saying that he is sorry he went away, as he expresses this false remorse. Number 2, I am sorry I didn't listen. The narcissist didn't listen to you because you have nothing of importance to say. Ever. Well, of course, that is compared to what he has to say. The narcissist wants you to listen to him more because he doesn't like it when you don't. In fact, he hates it. The narcissist rarely actually hears the words you say because you're actually wasting your breath. We're far too focused on the emotion that is spewing from you, your hurt, your frustration, your anger, and your hatred. That is what we want to hear. That is what we want to listen to. Why? Because it's fuel, and this is what we crave. We will, of course, pretend to apologise that we didn't listen, and state that we will listen to you in the future, so that then you provide us with some positive fuel for a while, and then, of course, we will become deaf to what you have to say once more. Number 3, I am sorry that I hit you. What the narcissist really means is, you made me do it because you will not do what I want, and you will not give me what I need. The narcissist is saying, I'm torn between needing you and being disgusted by the fact that I'm bound to someone as pathetic as you, when I regard myself as brilliant. I'm concerned that what I did might be detected by others, and consequently the facade that I have created and maintained to everyone outside of these 4 walls will be damaged. I'm concerned I may have to spend some of my precious time charming or convincing law enforcement officials, if you are such a traitor as to report me to them. Number 4, I am sorry I was unfaithful. What the narcissist means here is, if you paid me more attention, I would not have to do it, or at least perhaps not as often. It was your fault that I went elsewhere, because you do not admire me like you used to. You should do so. Everyone admires me, and you should be no different. I am irritated that I got caught, because I thought I had covered my tracks and been cleverer than you. I am annoyed because you have scared off the other woman with your histrionics, and now I am going to have to use my time and energy to find someone else now. I had a great little setup there, and you've ruined it with your interference, just as you spoil everything. But because of my needs for fuel, I have to come crawling back to you, expressing the fact that I'm sorry I was unfaithful. Number 5, I'm sorry I wasn't there for you. I really cannot be bothered having to support you when you are unwell. I find it a waste of my time, because everything should be about me, not about you. I do not like to be reminded of weakness. If I do, it reminds me of something that I'd rather not reflect on, rather not be reminded of. I need my energies and time to carry out my machinations and gather fuel, not to play nursemaid to you. I do not care that you've looked after me before. That is your role, that is your obligation. I'm too important to tend to you. It's beneath me. I'm actually concerned that my lack of caring and attentiveness has proven the last straw, however, and therefore my false contrition by explaining that I am sorry I wasn't there for you is purely designed to stop you leaving me. I don't care at all. Number 6, I am sorry I am not a better person. I actually do think that I am better than you, better than him, better than her, way better than everyone else. But I know that you are fixated with the idea of making me better, changing me and healing me. So I will say this to make you feel sorry for me, so I gain some sympathy fuel, and also to hint at the fact that I apparently want to change and become someone better. This plays into your sense of healing and of fixing. I'm actually not going to change, but I do love to keep you hanging on thinking that I will, as this will stop you leaving me and deserting me when I need my fuel. It will create hope. That last great manipulation. I will keep mentioning this to you, so you stick around until such time as I've lined someone else up, and I've drained you, and then you can disappear for all that I care. In the meanwhile, I will continue to insinuate that I am capable of change and improvement, so that you do not go anywhere else. I need my fuel, after all, don't I? Number 7. I am sorry for myself. This one is actually true. Especially the mid-range variety of narcissist will feel very sorry for himself, and with good reason. The narcissist is just trying to get through life and deal with the jealous people, the envious people, and the horrible people who are trying to hurt him or her. He knows there are hundreds of them, and he has done nothing to them, yet they insist on trying to hurt him. It's a terrible burden for the narcissist to carry, knowing that there are so many people out there against him, especially when he is as wonderful and brilliant as he is. He needs your pity, he needs your sympathy, he needs your empathy. You need to give it to him, because it is all fuel. He doesn't need to be treated like this, does he? Because, after all, he's human too.